there, Billy. Before we watch this, I just want to say that this is a reaction to me reacting to. This is my reaction to Not Bay's video analysis on me. So, before you watch this, go to his channel, check out the video first. And while you're there, don't forget to give him some support as well. Show him some love too. Give him a like, a follow, how do you do. You can go check it out, like right over here. Yeah, right there-ish. Go check it out and then come back here, okay? Enjoy the rest of the video. Not Bay, Mewtwo extraordinaire, Mewtwo nerd, has made a video about me. Old school fundamentals. WaDi player analysis. So let's see what the hell he's got to say about me.
In a metagame dominated by crazy combos and punish games. Steve up tilt, Mario up air, Kazuya anything. Advantage state has become such an important asset to a player that no one really focuses on neutral anymore. Well, no one except Chris WaDi Boston. The old Virginian has been a prominent player since Brawl, and has made a name for himself off an unorthodox playstyle. But just what does he do to excel in this area? How does his game plan differ between characters? And what weaknesses come with being a specialist?
Look good right there, baby!
It's natural for players to become experts in certain areas. Void and Esam are amazing labbers, Fatality has revolutionized Falcon Disadvantage, and MK Leo has redefined what good spacing is, referred to my last analysis on that. All the while, WaDi has flown under the radar and optimized Smash at the most basic level, fundamentals. It's a term that gets tossed around, and there are a million different ways to interpret it. However, I would argue fundamentals are a player's understanding of how Smash is played and applying that knowledge into four main pillars.
Yeah, see,
movement,
look, he knows how,
spacing,
he knows.
Punishing, and combos. Coming full circle, WaDi's fighting game experience has made him a master of these four basic pillars.
I'm a master?
Oh, but hey, starting with movement, which is an unorthodox part of his game. Notice how he rarely dash dances, and his movements are quick and simple. Some might see this as a weakness, but in actual...
Is he on me? He's like, look how piss poor his movement is. He doesn't move a muscle. And somehow his opponent's probably like, oh my god, he should be moving, and they get confused. And that's how I win. Huh? Is that what he's saying? In
actuality, it's one of his strongest points.
My opponent's like,
he
should be better than this,
player,
and then they just
doesn't commit to
confused.
options unless he sees inherent value. These dash shields are great at closing the gap, and he really likes these landing neutral specials with Rob and Mewtwo, not only to reposition, but also to condition and scout for options. This is inherently connected with his spacing. WaDi plays as if he has a safety bubble surrounding his character, keeping anyone and everyone out of that space, and the moment that space is encroached or breached is when he acts.
That's true. Look at look. How you gonna show this clip? He was at 3 stocks, I'm at 1. You know, analyzing sets and talking about it, teaching y'all what's going on, even though I don't know half the time, it's fun. If you're enjoying this, please let me know down below what other sets you want me to talk about, analyze, And while you're down there, don't forget to subscribe, like, turn on notifications, ring the bell. That me keep doing these videos. Make me look bad.
This disable anticipating the approach was a great mix-up. And his cast of characters all have projectiles to force his opponent's hand.
Yeah, I definitely play around like
his punishes and combos are also a weird one. This is another area you might think he struggles, but again, it's actually pretty efficient. Instead of going for crazy combos, WaDi relies on simple bread and butters that forces opponents into vulnerable positions. This dash attack out of the laser acts as a mini frame trap, and again pushes Quick into a corner, pressuring with down tilts while still maintaining his
reverse there on his ass.
After landing this neutral air, he dashes towards Mars to cut off this landing area, which ultimately forces a jump. He recognizes Skyj's shield habit here, and with no true combo to be had, mixes him for an astonishing 100% right off the bat, a very rare sequence at top level play. These confusions on platforms are pinnacle Mewtwo pressure, and resetting his advantage state every time forces Skyj into an extra level of neutral that takes time to comprehend. Skyj has more than enough time to jump out to avoid the forward air, but WaDi is already in his head, and he burns him for it.
Oh, I'm in his head.
His recoveries are also worthy of praise. Most players try and recover the ledge as soon as possible, but WaDi opts to stall as much as he can until the coast is clear.
Hey, my recoveries, I think I have top 5 best best recovery game in the game.
Great at this.
Best recovery.
This upbeat stalling is amazing, especially since he can shark with up airs.
I know I'm cheating with the characters I use. They're all good at recovery. But
and
like,
Mewtwo's huge double jump, along with confusion, allows him to disregard most traps.
It's so hard to edge guard me.
I love his use of Shadow Ball and Laser to cut off any edgeguard attempts. Again, there isn't anything particularly flashy going on, it's just phenomenal decision making.
Why you gotta say that? It's a little flat. It's flashy to some people.
And he's really good at reacting whenever someone does try to meet him off stage. Rely on reactions and decision making, and the result is a remarkable disadvantage state.
Will you hit me off stage? You hear me, Ned? I know you're watching, you're a fan.
WaDi has redefined what it means to have good fundies. Rather than putting the burden on his fingers, he allows his mind to do the heavy lifting, constantly putting himself in the right position at the right time. And since he opts for a simpler combo and advantage state, his conversion rate and stamina are really high, vital components for any deep bracket run. This bare-bones style of play also allows his skill set to translate to virtually any character. Yes, the combos and neutral are different, but they're all founded on the same building blocks. His rod tends to focus on option coverage, this laser to bait out the air dodge is great, and immediately follows up with a forward air to push advantage.
Okay.
He opts to play a more read and react style with Mewtwo. Notice these early game shadow balls to condition and zone out.
When I looked at that,
and
I was thinking side B. Then I went for a fair. I was like, huh.
He follows up with a forward air to push advantage. He opts to play a more read and react style with Mewtwo. Notice these early game shadow balls to condition and zone out before they transition into a potent ledge trapping tool. Beautiful. There are a few points for optimization. WaDi isn't that consistent with his tap shield cancels. These were both
Why are you making me look bad?
Hitting this up can make his Mewtwo faster and more elusive.
See, look,
but since he doesn't rely on excessive movement to win, I'm not too worried about this inconsistency. His ice climbers are a bit of a curveball, mainly because this is the most fundies-based version of the character I have ever seen. But again, WaDi makes his own style for the climbers. He loves these burst options, forcing some kind of reaction, and while simple, Icy's basic combo game still yields a ton of damage, way more than the true combos he goes for with Ram and Mewtwo. Again, there's a lot of room for improvement. WaDi seems to dabble in a select few basic desyncs, but for a secondary character, the climbers fit him like a glove.
You can get away with just like the bait.
This part is my speculation, but aside from basic matchup knowledge, WaDi has developed a solid three-pronged attack. Icy's for burst options and damage, Mewtwo for neutral and ledge trapping, and Rob for comfort and option coverage. And the interesting part is as he gets more experience, the more refined his counter picks will become. Since they all have significantly different playstyles, the chances that a player can get through all three characters is not that high.
Yes, I use 3 characters. I use probably more than that. It's weird because like a lot of people, including myself, think that it's best to have more than one character. But like almost all of the top players, like the top of the top, use one character pretty much. And then they'll like be like, oh, haha, I used this character, and then they suck and they never use it again. And they just go back to the one character. I enjoy counterpicking. I think my thing is I need to optimize the characters that I use. And I like really have to like sit down, legit practice the matchups for the characters that I want to use them for. I don't do that.
And to me, the struggle isn't what WaDi brings to the table. Rather, it's the potential value he leaves there. Most namely his combos and edge guarding. Fatality misinputs here and falls off stage, and a neutral air would have easily.
Yeah, I was like.
But Fatality misinputs here and falls off stage, and a neutral air would have.
Sometimes when you're in bracket and stuff like that, sometimes you just miss things that, and you go back and you watch, and it's just like, wow, that was the easy. Like in my head, as soon as I saw this, I was like, oh, just drop down there. Sometimes you just like don't see absolutely everything.
Into the stock, but instead WaDi opts for stage positioning. Again, a fine decision in a vacuum, but a nair is a death sentence for a recovering Falcon. And because of this inconsistency, his opponents get much more comfortable off stage. Quick is not worried about dying here and doesn't even air dodge when he gets close to ledge. Again, this is more specific to Mewtwo since he's the best edge guarder out of his characters, but similar concepts can
with this situation.
Can be applied to Rob and Icy's. There's an opportunity to Z-drop the gyro past the ledge to force a low recovery, but he drops it on stage, and this gives Quick an opening for a reversal. Here he does a good job at winning advantage, and again, the gyro is a fine option, but given how often Quick has stalled with bombs, I think a forward air would have been really safe to go for. What's more, he commits way too hard for a down air,
and I got greedy, okay?
Makes him pay.
Leave me alone!
WaDi is difficult to rate as a player, mostly because he hasn't gone to as many tournaments in 2022. There are times when he underperforms, but he also shows flashes of the top 20 player he used to be. And if anything, I do think his upside potential is really high as long as he sticks with this set of characters. If he hones his craft and labs out a couple optimal combos for each character, his long-term growth as a player can be tremendous, especially seeing how good he is now. I think the vast majority of the times he loses is due to growing pains of getting used to his character selection, and will become more consistent given time. But as of right now, I would rate WaDi as a top 100 player in the world, with potential to crack the top 50.
You don't even think I'm top 50 material now, huh? Well, I'll let you know I am top 50 material if I put my heart and soul into it. I want to do good this year. I want to perform good this year. I want to be known again as a top 20 player. I think I can do it. I need to go to more things, and I need to actually like train. I need to do more streams where I'm just training, you know, where I'm just playing against good players.